Hi guys, and welcome to another Divi theme video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, we got another little button effect for you today. We've created a custom button here, and when you hover over it, the text is going to change, and it's going to change from oblong to round. Pretty simple effect to do, and that's a nice little thing to have on your site. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is enable our visual builder. And let's go on down. And rather than having it sitting there on its own, I'm going to clone this little blurb module up here, put it across. And I'm going to swap out that image quickly. Now we'll just put in a new title so it's slightly different looking. Okay, we're actually using a text module to make this button today. So I'm going to add a new module. Divi comes as standard with the light grey modules here. Any of these with a DP in front of them. I've got the great Divi Plus plugin installed on this site, and we're not using that today, but that's what the DPs are. I'm going to use a text, just a regular Divi text module. Put in what you want your button to say right here. And when we actually hover on it, we want it to say something else. Let's put an exclamation mark on the end of there. So we've been doing this with previous buttons, and it's a great little effect for changing text on a button or on anything you want, really. So I'm going to hit the little arrow up here, and this is common to most Divi modules. If you roll up over the dark text, you'll see some icons appear. There's a little arrow. You've got a desktop state when your mouse is not on it, and a hover state when your mouse is on it, obviously. And you can have different text for a hover state and a desktop state. So for desktop, we've got to learn more. For hover, I'm going to have something short like just go, because it's going to be a little circle that's going to be the same height as our button there, but it's also going to be the same width as height, so it's round. So we want something short and concise, so I'm just going to put go in there. Okay, obviously you want your button to link somewhere, so you put that in the link below here. I'm just going to put a hashtag in. As usual, best practice, if you're linking to your own site, leave it in the same window. If you're linking off-site to somebody else's site, open it in a new tab so your site stays open. Okay, well there we've got it. Let's give our little button or our text module a background. Let's just open this because at the moment I'm on the hover state. Let's take it back to normal. I'm going to give it just a regular background gradient. I'm going to leave that just as it is with the default colors there. I'm not going to change anything else there at all. I want to go over to my design tab now though. I want to make that text light in color, so I'm just clicking on the text there. Let's make that white. I want to make it a little bit bigger. That'll do, and I want it in the middle. There we go. Okay, well I'm going to give my button a fixed width and height now. So to do that, we can just close up our text right here, and we'll go into sizing. Width wise, I want it to be 200 pixels wide, so I'm just going to pop in 200. There we go. And that'll, you don't have to put the pix on, it'll do that for you. I want it to be in the middle. Height wise, I'm going to give it 50 pixels. There we go. And we've got to push our text down to the middle of our button there. So let's close up our sizing now, and we'll go into spacing. And let's give it some padding on the top. Let's try 10 pix. And again, just put in the 10, it'll put the pix for you. Not quite enough. Let's make it either 12 or 13. I think 12 works fine. I may have this text slightly smaller than the one to the left, but that's fine. Just align it with this, fine tune with the little arrows up and down there. Okay, so we've got our regular state for a button, but when we hover over it, we want it to change to the go, and we want it to be circular. So let's go back into our sizing. And again, common to most Divi modules, if you hover over the Dart Legending, these icons are going to appear again. Hit the little arrow again. So desktop, or when we're not hovering over it, we want it to be 200 pix. When I hover over it, I want it to be the same width as it is height. So that's 50 pix. Let's put in the 50 there. There we go. And I just want to make it round rather than square like that. So let's close up our sizing. And we'll go to our border. Okay, and for regular state, let's hit the little arrow again and get them up. Regular state, I'm going to give it slightly rounded corners, so I'm going to say 4. And again, it'll put in the pix for you. As long as you've got the chain linked, it'll do all 4 at once for you. Then when we go to hover state, I want to make it completely circular. So I'm going to ramp this up to 50. And we've now got a little circle. Great. So that's effectively done what we want, but that gradient's okay, but we could change the color when we actually hover on it. Let's go back to our content, to our background, and desktop. There's what we got on desktop. Hover state. Let's go into the gradient. Let's make it a little bit different. Make it purple instead of green, perhaps. That's fine. But let's have a radial gradient which will emanate out from the middle. I think that works fine. That works for me. Obviously play with it, get it how you want it. You can get some great effects with the start and end positions. You can actually segregate colors if you want to. But I'm going to leave mine just as the default right there. I think that works for me. And also I think it'd be a nice touch just to have a little bit of box shadow on it, just on the hover state right there, so it's lifting off the page a little bit. So let's go back into our design. We'll go down to box shadow, and again let's hover over. There's no hover for the box shadow, so what we can do is just put a regular box shadow on. Let's use this one right here. That's fine. But if we go down to the actual shadow color, we have got a hover state. So what we can do, if I set it to desktop, I don't want a box shadow on the desktop version. If you do, that's fine, just leave it as it is. If you don't, let's make it transparent on the desktop version. Then on the hover version, we'll give it a color. Let's make it black or something. It's a little too deep. Let's take the opacity down on that slightly. The more you take this down, the less you'll see of that shadow. It wants to be there, but it doesn't want to be quite as dark as it was. I think that's going to work fine. Now finally, we're about there now. Finally, the last thing we really want to do is the time it takes to go from this to this by default with Divi is 300 milliseconds, which is pretty quick. I want to slow mine down a bit, so if we go up to our advanced tab, transitions, transition duration, I'm going to take mine to about 3/4 of a second, something like that. And I like to use the ease in and ease out for this. That way when you take your mouse off of it, it's going to ease back out to where it was, and it'll ease into the new one. I quite like that. But play with these. They're all slightly different. Some are going to do better in certain situations than others, but for most of these hover effects, I like to use that. So we should be good to go. Let's save our changes. Save draft or publish if you're ready. And let's exit the Visual Builder. There we go, and we'll go on down. And there's our little button there. When we hover over it, there we go. And of course, when I click on it, it's just going to take me back to the top of the page because I put a hashtag in there. But obviously you can put any link you want or URL you want in there. Like I say, that's a nice little effect to have on your site. And of course, you could do it the opposite way around. You could have it round at first with a question mark or something, and then when they hover on it, you could have some writing. Possibilities are fairly endless. So there you go, guys. There's how to morph a button from oblong to round using the inbuilt features of the Divi theme itself. So I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, this has been Jamie from System 22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.